What's crack-a-lackin'? Welcome in to My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Show.
Welcome into episode 178, everybody. I am your host, SleezBall. Today's episode, Bimageddon is past us, is going to be my Week 15 quarterback rankings for every single quarterback this week. There's no more buys. We are into the fantasy football playoffs, so it is absolute crunch time to nail these down. And if you guys have any questions about anything there is, you can't make any of my live shows later this week, you can drop them in the comments. That's one of the things I try to do. Every single comment all year long I've tried to get to help you guys out, to help you get to the point we're at now and get to that ultimate goal of the championship. Before we head into it, guys, make sure you smash that like, make sure you hit that subscription. Helps me out a ton. I cannot thank you guys enough for all the support this season. It's been absolutely amazing. And if you guys want to know when I'm live, you can turn those bells on. I also play a little Fortnite here and there as well. And I will be dropping my wide receiver and tight end tomorrow morning, so you'll have them all before Sunday. It was a late week for me. I didn't get to everything. I got caught in different nonsense, but I will get them out to you guys. And let's dive into my Week 15 quarterback rankings for every single matchup in the fantasy football playoffs. So if you guys are new to the channel, this is my QB ranking board for Week 15. Baller tier at the top, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5. We're going to crank through every single quarterback. There is no buys this week. At the bottom, you'll see the quarterbacks that are injured or not playing from last week. So Trevor Lawrence, obviously out for the season. Drew Lock, looks like Tommy DeVito is going to be in there. Derek Carr, looks like we're going to have Jake Haener in there. And Aiden O'Connell still fighting. So pay attention to him because he has a great matchup if he's out there too. But if it's Desmond Ridder, I'm staying away, but we'll get to that later in the video here. Now, starting off with my QB1 on the week, the MVP of the NFL, Josh Allen, breaks fantasy football all-time quarterback points record last week. And now you get the Detroit Lions. Like, they just want this guy to drop 40-plus points back-to-back here. I know he dropped 50 last week, but this is a 54.5 over-under. The Detroit Lions versus the QB are very good. They rank 6th. They give up 14.4, but it's Josh Allen. I don't care. They're 5th in the red zone, but they allow 240.8 pass yards a game, which is bottom 5 in the NFL. That's your outlier right there. They're very good at stopping the run. They're very good at the quarterback in the red zone when the field shrinks, but they give up a ton of yardage, and they give up 0.8 passing TDs a game, which is a very good number there as well. Again, they're great in the red zone. 0.8. Sorry, I almost read the wrong one. So, dude, Josh Allen's going to explode again. This guy's on a mission. Quarterback number 2, Jaden Daniels. And the only thing that scares me in this game, you're going up against the Saints. They're 5-8. Their season's pretty much over, right? Commanders still fighting for a playoff spot at 8-5. Now, I know Lattimore's gone. That hurts their defense. Saints defense kind of depleted across. The only thing that kind of worries me here is how this game script is going to go. Can Jake Haener keep up in this game? Or will Jaden Daniels be sitting out the fourth quarter and you're seeing more McNichols and, Brian Robinson and all these guys just wasting the clock at the end of the game? So that's the only tempered expectation I have. I'm going to have the same thought for Lamar Jackson coming up here in a second, though. Quarterback number 3, smoking Joe Burrow. Absolutely out of his mind lately in fantasy football. It's not even funny. Him and Jamar Chase are just on a different planet, guys. I mean, I did not have Joe Burrow ranked this high. I should have. Big mistake at the beginning of the season. I had him like QB8. This guy has a chance right now chasing QB1, literally behind Josh Allen. He's QB3 right now. And just look at the last, 5 weeks, man. He hasn't had under 20 fantasy points in 5 weeks straight. 31, 41, 31, 20, 26. Now you get the Tennessee Titans, right? Now, the Tennessee Titans defense has gotten worse, but that's because their offense doesn't stay on the field long enough, and they've had injuries, and their superstar corner is out. So Ladarius Sneed on IR obviously really hurts them, right, that they got from the Chiefs. Now, they rank 19th, give up 16.7 at the quarterback. They rank 29th in the red zone, giving up 7.7, but I don't see Burrow running or nothing like that. He does run a little bit here and there, but I don't see that happening. 189.2 passing yards and 1.5 passing TDs. The Bengals still have hopes here. So they still have, if they win out, there's a possibility if the chips fall right. So the Bengals are not done. Get him in your lineup. Get all the Bengals in your lineup. I don't care what the matchup is. They are going to pass heavy. Their defense cannot stop anything, so they have to score at will. Joe Burrow is my QB3 on the week. QB4, and this is my, I like to take one call out of make it a nice call here, a crazy call every single week. I don't know if it's crazy, but a little higher than most people. Tua Tagovailoa is my QB4 on the week. Going up against the Houston Texans in the Dome, there's no weather. Tua in the past 4 weeks is averaging 25 fantasy points a game. 23, 25, 28, 27. And there's not an aberration game in there. So you don't have a game where it's like 50 points, so you average out 4 games in between. He's legit averaging over 20 fantasy points a game. Now you get the Houston Texans defense. The Houston Texans defense, they're coming off a bye. They'll be nice and healthy, everything like that. But when you're looking at this game right here, you're going to look at the Houston Texans defense, right? So we pull it up here. We go Houston Texans right now versus the quarterback. They gave up 16.5. That ranks 17th. They ranked 9th in the red zone. 220.3 passing yards, which is bottom 10 in the NFL. But what I want to show here is the past 4 weeks. So we're not just going to take the season here. We're going to take the past 4 weeks. The Houston Texans versus the wide receiver in the past 4 weeks is the 4th worst in the NFL, giving up 42.7 points. Expect Tyreek, expect Waddle, expect Jonnu, expect HN, expect everyone to blow up here in the receiving game. That is why I love Tua so much this week. QB number 5 is going to be Lamar Jackson, and this is what I was talking about with Jaden Daniels here. You get the New York Giants. New York Giants offense, we've seen it. It's terrible. The season's over. They get rid of Danny Dimes. They should have never paid him his contract in the first place to start with. And you could look at their numbers like this, right? So the New York Giants right now are giving out 16.5 to the quarterback, 10th in the red zone, 213 passing yards, and 1.1 passing TDs a game. But their offense never really moves the ball. So I'm kind of worried if this is more of a King Henry, 20-plus point game for him. I can see that happening easily. It's why I'm lower on Zay Flowers, why I'm lower on a lot of the Ravens this week, because I think the game script is going to be really bad. But Lamar Jackson still has a chance to put up 20 points in any quarter, so I'm going to keep him in my top 5 still. Quarterback number 6 is going to be Jordan Love. Sunday Night Football. They are going to get the Seattle Seahawks, and this is a big game here. Packers 9-4, Seahawks 8-5. And when you're looking at the Seahawks defense versus the quarterback, right? And they started off super hot. So they played like 4 backup quarterbacks in the first 4 weeks, and everyone thought they had this great defense. So now they've fallen to the middle of the pack. They give up 16.1. They rank 23rd in the red zone, 230 passing yards, which is the middle of the pack, and 1.4 passing TDs. But looks like you might get Romeo Doubs back out there, possibly maybe as well. That will help out with Christian Watson. That will help with Jaden Reed, who just dropped a goose egg last week, which is absolutely crazy to me. I could not believe that happened in a smash matchup. Unbelievable. Kind of like Cooper Kupp this week. If you had Cooper Kupp like me, I played him in 5 playoffs. We are in shambles right now. So that's the end of my tier 1, guys. Heading down to tier 2 here, we're going to start off with Kyler Murray. Now, Kyler Murray, it's like the roller coaster ride of, Disneyland or whatever you want to call it, Six Flags, whatever you want. This guy will get 20, 15, 10, 25, 10, 15, 11, 20. It's like the consistency is not there. But you get the New England Patriots. The New England Patriots give up 17 points a game to the quarterback on the season right there, ranking 21st. They rank 26th in the red zone, give up 7.6, where his rushing can kick in even more. 227 passing yards and 1.7 passing TDs they give up a game. So the matchup is great here for Kyler Murray. It's just, are we going to get the Kyler of, the ride of the bad ride on the road where you're at home, you're at home, or are you going to get the Kyler where it's just like a 10 to 12 point game and he starts throwing picks like last week? Like, it's just, it's a nightmare with him. And you're going to have Christian Gonzalez out there on Marvin Harrison Jr. So this is your Trey McBride game here. I just need Kyler to pop off and show me some consistency here. I want like 3 20-point games. Give me a Tua run of 4 games in a row instead of this roller coaster ride. And I'll start ranking Kyler, consistently with confidence. Quarterback number 8, fresh off the bye as well, Bo Nix is going to get an insanely good matchup here. So if you've been subscribed to my channel, I have pot of gold fantasy football defenses, 3 of them. The Indianapolis Colts is one of them. They cannot stop the run. They cannot stop the pass. They cannot stop the tight end as they get the hiccups. They cannot stop the quarterback. They give up 17 points a game to the quarterback. They rank 25th in the red zone. They give up 246.5 passing yards, which is bottom 10 in the NFL, 1.3 passing TDs, and they also allow 20 yards rushing to the quarterback a game. And Bo Nix hasn't been using his legs as of late like he was 4 or 5 weeks ago, but that opportunity is there as well, something he brings to the table. And Cortland Sutton's going to feast in this game. I absolutely love Bo Nix. Quarterback number 9, and this is the lowest I've ranked Jalen Hurts all year long. I don't know what is going on in Philly. There's a lot of beef right now between him and, A.J. Brown or whatever they're going over or whatever nonsense they're having. he's still going to give you, an average of probably 18, 20 points, right? But you're going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers here. The Pittsburgh Steelers, guys, are number 1 on the season versus the quarterback, only allowing 12.6 points. This defense is ferocious. They rank 8th in the red zone, 235.2 pass yards they allow per game. But shit, when's the last time Jalen Hurts even passed for 230 passing yards? We'd have to go all the way back to week 8 of the Cincinnati Bengals. They are run-heavy offense now with Kellen Moore and Saquon Barkley. I mean, look at the past 3 weeks, 108 yards, 118 yards, 179 yards. They are not passing the ball in Philly. So I'm really, really worried about A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith this week. It's going to be one of those weird games. That's why I have him so low, because you're going to be in the cold in Philly. You're going to be playing against the top D. It's going to be a grunge, pound, run fest game, hard hitting. And if he doesn't get a couple tush pushes, it's probably going to be an ugly day for Jalen Hurts. But still, his average is probably 16, 17, so I'm going to keep him at quarterback 9. Quarterback 10 and 11 were Brock Purdy and Matt Stafford. We are not talking about last night's game. I'm a Niner fan. Our season is over, and I had these guys ranked here. I know this video is late in the rankings, but this is where I had them ranked on the season, before the week started, so I'm not going to change that. I'm just going to leave them up there and say sorry, because it was a terrible game. I did not know the rain was going to pour for the first half. It'd be absolutely terrible, and Brock Purdy and Matt Stafford were absolutely atrocious in this game. Quarterback number 12, one of my smash plays of the week, is going to be Anthony Richardson. And like I said, he's going to get Josh Downs back. You have Ladarius Sneed out. 2 of his past 3 games, he's had 20-plus points. Both those games were on the road. He is on the road here against Denver. Denver is a very good defense. They give up 14.6, ranking 7th. They rank 2nd in the red zone. 239 pass yards a game they allow, which is middle of the pack. 1.3 passing TDs. They also give up 15 yards rushing to the quarterback per game. Anthony Richardson is a different breed. And when Josh Downs is out there, they're fighting for their life, too. When Josh Downs is out there, this team is just a different looking team for the Colts. And that's quoting Big Draft Energy right there. He's been telling me that all year long. He absolutely nailed it. I would have thought Pittman would be the guy. It has not been the case here. Now, 6 and 7, 8 and 5. They're still alive. They're still fighting. I like Anthony Richardson to explode in this game. Look what happened last time Denver was out there with Jameis Winston. Obviously, different quarterbacks, but Winston dropped a freaking 500-yard game on him. So very, very susceptible to the pass, and I like Anthony Richardson a lot. Quarterback number 13, the matchup is absolutely great. Hopefully, we can get Ladd McConkey back out there. I'm going to actually pull it up right now. I haven't looked this morning. It's back in the gym. I'm cranking out these videos. So Ladd McConkey, limited practice. He should be good to go here, right? Now, you're going to get the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? So can it get any better than this? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, guys, ranked dead last versus the quarterback, giving up 21.3. That's 32nd in the NFL. 270 passing yards per game, which ranks 31st, second to last. 1.6 TDs, which is tied for 4th worst. And they also give up 26.1 rushing yards, and Herbert's been rushing more. So you have to love Justin Herbert in this game, especially getting Ladd McConkey back. It's going to be a big uptick for the offense. Quentin Johnston finally had a good game last week as well, which really helped out there. So he went from his drop game to everyone panicked. And now you're going to get him back out there. And this is going to be a big game here. This is 7 and 7, 8 and 5, both fighting for their playoff lives. They're at home. They get Khalil Mack back on the defense. He looked great last week. They're going to get after the quarterback, get the ball, get more opportunities for the Chargers. I know they need J.K. Dobbins back, but with J.K. Dobbins gone, they're going to pass more. Gus has looked terrible. Kamani Badal's not the guy. So you have to really, really like Justin Herbert this week. Quarterback number 14 is going to be Patrick Mahomes, and the Chiefs just cannot find the end zone, man. They just keep driving down to the red zone, and they just keep getting field goals. Past 3 weeks, guys, Patrick Mahomes has not a single game where he's had, 2 weeks where he's had 20 points. And when you look at the season, just think about this on the season. We're in week 14, right? The Chiefs are 13 and 1. Okay. We're in week 14, 13 and 1. How many 20-point games of fantasy football on the season does Patrick Mahomes have? He has 2 from one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time that's already going to be like Mount Rushmore and died from everybody. And he's, in the GOAT conversation. He hasn't been putting up the fantasy points. You're at the Cleveland Browns here. This matchup is great. They give up 19.5 to the quarterback right there. but they do rank 4th in the red zone. They have a very good front seven. They give up 231.2 passing yards, middle of the pack, 1.4 passing TDs, and they give up the most rushing yards on the season to the quarterback. So Patrick Mahomes can get loose for sure because they send the edges of Myles Garrett and everybody, and it opens up the middle, and Patrick just takes off running. But he's just hard to rank. Like, I really love this matchup, but this guy is just not, he's been a consistent, like, 14-point player all year long. And you could even get Hollywood Brown back out there. They opened up his practice window as well. That could help them out too. It's just tough with Mahomes. That's why I always leave him in the middle here, because he's just not shown consistency of 20-point games. Number 15 is going to be Jared Goff. And this is a tough ranking for me with Goff, because you just saw the game with the Detroit Lions, or not with the Detroit Lions, with the Buffalo Bills and the Rams that went 80 points. I picked the Rams to win. That was a great call. He posted that all over my everywhere because it was one of my best calls of the year. And with Buffalo, they really struggle versus the run, and the Lions have been powerhouse running. You know, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, they're going to definitely go off in this game. But are we going to have a shootout game here? They say 54.5 over under. I like it to be over as well. But I just fear you're not going to have that many passing TDs, because Buffalo is very good versus the wide receiver. So I'll break down this in two right here. So Buffalo's defense versus the quarterback, they rank 4th. They give up 13.4 points. They give up, they're 14th in the red zone. They give up 223 passing and 1.4 TDs. And then when you got to look at this, I'm going to go to 4 weeks now and look at how bad Buffalo is versus the wide receiver in the past 4 weeks, right? So they give up 38.4, which is about middle of the pack. They're 18th, 19th ranked, right? But when you go look at the run game, right? So the Bills just really, really hemorrhage a ton of points to the running back. Like, it's insane. If you just watch my running back ranking video, I'm going to pull it again here. They rank 30th versus the run, giving up 27 points a game. That's why I just have this fear that it's a Gibbs Montgomery. Obviously, you'll see some Amon-Ra, especially if it's a shootout game. He'll get in there. I just don't know how it's going to look, because I think you're going to see more of a run game here from the Lions. That's why I have Goff lower this week. Number 16 is going to be CJ Stroud at home, going up against Tua and the Dolphins, who are fighting for their life. Same with the Texans. Well, I guess they're going to close out their division pretty much, but still kind of fighting at 8-5. I mean, they need to get a little pull away here. So you got a 46.5 over-under game here. You're going to have going up against Miami. Miami versus the quarterback right now on the season. They're bad. They give up 23.6. They rank 22nd. They rank 27th in the red zone. They give up about, never mind. That's the wrong chart. Sorry, I went back for running backs last time. Let me get back to this quarterback one here. So this is why I was in my head reading that and thinking that was wrong. Miami versus the quarterback is number 3, giving up 13.3 points, 226 yards passing, 1.1 TDs. Not great. The Miami defense has been better. Even when they lost Phillips, they're still fighting. So I think it's going to be a shootout game, yes, because you're in a dome and there's no cold weather, and both these teams are electric. You're going to have Tank Dell, Nico Collins, Jalen Waddle, everyone going off. I like CJ Stroud as about a high-end QB2 as you can get this week. Quarterback number 17, Jameis, the slinging, crazy pick sixer, not Winston. And guys, the matchup here is as good as it gets, right? You get the Chiefs, but you also now got the update today that Cedric Tillman isn't out there. David Njoku isn't out there. So you're going to have Elijah Moore and pretty much Jerry Jeudy going bonkers, right? Now, the Kansas City Chiefs on the season, there's 2 ways to look at this. So on the season, they give up 17 points to the quarterback a game, right? With 233 passing yards. But what you need to look at here, as I'm going to pull my other chart here, is the Kansas City Chiefs versus the wide receiver in the past 4 weeks have given up 39 points a game. They are really, really struggling, and they've given up a touchdown every single game to the wide receiver. So really, really rough here for the Chiefs. I like the matchup. I really put Jameis Winston higher if the weapons were out there, but without Njoku and Tillman, I got to leave him in the middle here, and I really like the matchup a ton. Heading into quarterback number 18, Caleb Williams, and people are going to flip out on this one, but we're going to dive into it a little deeper here. Minnesota is a top defense. They are. But Minnesota versus the quarterback right now on the season, guys, they rank 8th. They give up 15 points a game. They're 16th in the red zone, but they give up 270.8 passing yards per game, which is second last in the NFL, and 1.4 passing TDs. But wait, what you need to also realize here is Caleb Williams already played Minnesota about 3 weeks ago. I want to get it right so I don't give you the wrong one. Of course, I typed the wrong name. Let me pull up Caleb Williams. This is what I was looking at that was interesting here. So 3 weeks ago, hit it right on the dot, 3 weeks. Caleb Williams at home, Minnesota. 47 pass attempts, 32 completions, 340 yards, 2 TDs, 28 fantasy points. And in the first half, he had nothing. This all happened in a half. Now, not cold at Minnesota. Everyone's out there healthy. I expect DJ Moore-Keenan to go off, and I expect Caleb Williams to have another big game here. I know the pressure is going to get at him with how Minnesota blitzes, but I really like Caleb Williams to have a big week this week. Quarterback number 19, Baker Mayfield. It gets a very tough matchup. I really like Baker Mayfield. I mean, he's really impressed all year long. You're going to get the Chargers. The Chargers defense is now back fully healthy. And I know Baker Mayfield, just played Carolina and the Raiders. They're getting back in the hunt, or they just had New York Giants, Carolina, and the Raiders. So 3 easy wins in a row. Now you're getting your tough test here for the Bucs. And the Chargers defense on the season, they give up 15 points to the quarterback, ranking 12th. 6th in the red zone, number 1 in the red zone versus the run, number 4 in the red zone versus the wide receivers. It's a very good defense all the way around. 220 yards they allow. And this was without their team healthy. Now they're full throttle on defense. This is going to be really, really rough for Baker Mayfield. That's why I have him lower this week. Number 20 is going to be Drake, the rookie, May. Now, Drake May is going to get the Arizona Cardinals this week. And the Arizona Cardinals were just dominated by Charbonnet. But what you have to see is he found a little rhythm here in his last game versus Indy. 20 points in the game. He's been about, he's had 3 20-point games on the season, which is more than Patrick Mahomes, which is crazy to say. And he had 238 passing yards. You're getting Arizona. Arizona versus the quarterback is at 15.6. 21st in the red zone, 235 pass yards, 1 pass TD. But, remote, it's not an offense like Seattle where they have to worry about JCs and DK Metcalf and Charbonnet can go off. They pretty much have to worry about Ramondre Stevenson and Hunter Henry. So I like Drake May's rushing a lot in this game. I think he's going to have to run a lot with how much Arizona gets around the edges, and he can run. He's got 59 yards last game, 30, 24, 95. I mean, he's had some big rushing games. He rushed a lot at North Carolina. I like him this week. Quarterback 21, and people are going to flip out on this one, is Sam Darnold. And Sam Darnold has been on fire, guys. QB7 on the year. Just dropped 41 points on Arizona. Had 19, 23, 25 before that. But you're getting the Chicago Bears here. The Chicago Bears are number 2 versus the quarterback, giving up 13 points a game. Number 7 in the red zone, 232 pass yards, which is top 10, and 1 passing TD a game. Now, I know that he threw 5 last week. That's an aberration. That's not happening again. I'm just lower on Sam Darnold this week because Chicago's been getting gashed by the run so much, but I don't think they're going to need to pass heavy that much in this game. Although, Justin Jefferson's still Justin Jefferson. Addison's been going bonkers. TJ Hawkinson back there healthy. All the weapons are there. You have to like Sam Darnold. I'm just a little lower on Sam this week the most. Quarterback number 22, and I wish I could put him in like the top 15 with this matchup. I just don't trust the Jets. I know it looks like Breece Hall is going to be back out there as well, which is big for the Jets here. And you have Aaron Rodgers. He's been playing with a hamstring, a knee, ankle. The guy's 41. He's old, man. But he had his first 300-yard passing game last week versus Miami. Still didn't crack 20 points. Only cracked 20 points twice on the season. So it's been an ugly year for the Jets with all the weapons they have. But if there's ever a game, right? If there's ever a game where Aaron Rodgers can do it, this is it. This is your other fantasy football pot of gold. The Jacksonville Jaguars defense, they give up 21 points a game to the quarterback. Right there. Could be a great play. 275.2 passing yards, which is second to last behind the Ravens, or third to last behind the Ravens and Vikings. 1.8 passing TDs, tied for last. Everything looks great here. It's just hard to trust Aaron Rodgers. That's the only thing. Like, I love anybody versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's just hard to trust him. Their season's over. You don't know how it's going to look. It's really, really rough. Number 23, Kirk Cousins. And again, this is another situation just like Aaron Rodgers. The Falcons are sliding. Kirk Cousins has been playing like absolute dog shit. Like, excuse my French for that, but dude, you guys had to see this. So, Josh Allen dropped 51 points last week, right? In the past 5 weeks combined, Kirk Cousins has 27, 31, 34, 44 points in the past 5 weeks. So Josh Allen outperformed him in one game than Kirk Cousins has done in 5 weeks. I mean, the matchup here is amazing. You get the Las Vegas Raiders. They rank 24th, giving up 18.5. They're second last in the red zone. Terrible red zone defense. 235.8 in the air, which is middle of the pack, and 1.8 passing TDs. But it's like Aaron Rodgers. I just don't trust Kirk Cousins. The matchup is beautiful. He's just been terrible. That's the only thing that bothers me the most in this thing is just the matchup. Or sorry, not the matchup, just the trust factor. The matchup is there. The trust factor is just not there for me with him. Number 24, Geno Smith and the Seattle Seahawks here with Geno Smith. Last week, it was not the Geno Smith show. It was the Charbonnet show. Do you think it's going to be the Geno Smith show this week versus Green Bay? That is a defense that ranks top 10, giving up 15 points. I do not. I have Geno Smith ranked 24. They give up 239.1 passing yards, 1.5 passing TDs a game, which is all middle of the pack. And they might get Jair Alexander back as well. That would really help out this defense. It's tough for me, especially, Green Bay's defense now after that loss last week, they're going to be coming out hot. And I don't like Geno Smith that much this week. Man, number 25 was my sleeper call, and he popped his shoulder again, re-injured the same injury, but looks to be okay. Still hampered him in the game last week. He gets the Cincinnati Bengals. This is a perfect matchup for Will Levis. It's just, do you trust that shoulder or not? They rank 28th, given 20.7 points, 24th in the red zone, 245 passing yards, which is bottom 10, and 1.8 passing TDs, which is tied for second to last. Do you trust Levis? I was on the sleeper thing with him, but when he repopped the shoulder, it just looks sketchy. I like Calvin Ridley to see a ton of volume in this game, too. I just don't know how much I trust it because the Bengals defense is terrible. But it's just super hard to trust Will Levis once he re-aggravated the shoulder. Number 26, Bryce Young getting the Dallas Cowboys this week. And the Panthers have not been bad, guys. I'm crazy to say. They've hung in there with Philly, Tampa, and KC. 3 playoff teams back to back. They're going to get the Dallas Cowboys at home, who just lost Overshown on defense, which is going to be a big factor for them. But still, I like the Cowboys defense a ton this week. They're my defense number 2. I just don't trust the Panthers, and I'm not starting Bryce Young either way. But I'm going to rank him at quarterback 26. The Cowboys currently, this matchup's great. They give up 20.6 points to the quarterback a game, 28th in the red zone, 240 pass yards, and 1.5 TDs. But I still just don't trust the Panthers. The matchup is there. It's just not there for me. Oh, this one hurts, man. Number 27, Russell Wilson. Looks like George Pickens is going to be out, which is really going to hurt. You saw last week how the offense looked. It did not look great. Saved his day at the end with a couple touchdowns. It was really ugly. Only 26 passing attempts versus Cleveland. And he's getting a little rush work in there as well. At Philly, man, this defense is so good. Top 5, allowing 14 points to the quarterback, 196.1 yards, which is second best in 1 TD a game. This is a very good defense all the way around. They cover everything: wide receiver, tight end, running back, front 7, red zone. No George Pickens. I'm staying away from Russell Wilson this week. Number 28 is going to be Cooper Rush. The Dallas Cowboys season might have fallen away last week. They hung in there with the Bengals, which is crazy to say. He still had 15 fantasy points. I'm not starting him. The matchup is amazing versus Carolina. This is your other fantasy football pot of gold. They give you 20.7 to the quarterback. They rank 30th in the red zone, 225 passing yards, 1.8 TDs, tied for second last. Everything's great. It's just Cooper Rush. If this was Dak Prescott, I'd have him in the top 10 because the matchup is amazing. Number 29, Tommy DeVito getting the starting gig. We're going to roll through these last 4 pretty quick. I don't think anybody's starting them, so I'm just going to rank them out for you guys. So Tommy DeVito, Mac Jones, Jake Haener out there, Desmond Ridder. And again, if Aiden O'Connell is out there, so that's one thing I'll bring up here on these last 4 because you really don't need to talk about the end of the rankings because no one's really starting these guys unless you're in like a deep super flex league, is you're going to get Jacksonville. So if Aiden O'Connell is out there, guys, and he's starting, I would probably put him around 25, 24. That's the only difference. So, if he's out there starting, I'd throw him like right here with Will Levis because Jacksonville is 31st versus the quarterback. They're a terrible defense. So I'm going to leave him down here, though, still, because I don't know if he's going to be out there. I haven't seen the update. Checking it right now. He's not even practicing today, so it doesn't look good. So I'm going to leave him off the board. Thanks for rocking with me today. That is the end of the episode. That is my Week 15 quarterback rankings, every single matchup heading into the fantasy football playoffs, guys. Before we head out, guys, make sure you smash that like. Make sure you hit that subscription. Turn that bell on. Again, it helps me out a ton. I cannot thank you guys enough for all the support this year. It's been absolutely amazing. And I'll be live tonight. I'll be live tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, different shows. Probably playing a couple games here and there, depending. Got a little break here, Christmas time. We got the family trips coming up. So if you guys have any questions and you can't make it, you can drop them in there. I try to answer every single one of them. That's a goal of mine as well. So if you can't make the live show, I'll try to get to every question you guys have. And then I will have maybe my wide receivers today, or I'll have my wide receiver and tight end rankings tomorrow. Sorry, it was a late week. Next week, I will have them out early before the Thursday kickoff as well. So you don't see my rankings with like the 49ers and Rams you do this time as well. But those were my actual rankings as well from Twitter if you want to check the posts on Twitter, stuff like that. That's it for me in this episode, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope to catch you in the next one. SleezBall out.